The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Sicilian Corner, winner of the Italian Heritage Media Award, with your hosts, Tom Zappala and Mike Lamazzo.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sicilian Corner. My name is Mikey, and sitting alongside of me this morning, I have the pleasure of having Tommy's brother. Tommy, by the way, is taking a personal day today, a well-deserved one. And in his stead, he flew all the way from Italy to be with us from Sicily. Brother Al Zappala. Al, how are you, brother?
I had to take the space shuttle. I'm telling you, it was unbelievable. I just got here 15 minutes ago. It's unbelievable how fast that thing goes, Mike.
Yeah. Huh?
From Catania right over here to Salem, New Hampshire. Then they parachuted me in. It was unbelievable. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Are you here for business, personal? What's going on?
I'm here for my 4 grandkids. And I have been running all over the place for 2. I can't wait to get home to rest. I've been going to ball games, you name it. But it's been a great time. You know, when I don't see them that often. But I'm going to start.
How many grandchildren do you have?
I have four grandkids. I have Rose and John by my daughter Jennifer. Mm-hmm. And then I have MJ and Noe with my son Matthew and Lindsay. So it's a great, you know, they're all 17 to 13 years old. They're at that age. I could talk to them coherently now. Before I couldn't. Right?
Yeah.
So it's great. The weather's been good in New England.
Wow, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus, this is, to me, I love it. I can't stand the heat and the humidity. If you were to compare weather here, how long you been here, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks, Thursday, right. By the time the show is broadcast, I'll be back in Sicily.
What if you were to kind of overlay the weather you would be having in Sicily at this time of the year compared to here? Is it about equal?
No, it's way hotter.
It's hotter?
Yeah, it's 40 degrees Celsius today. That's
90, right?
Yeah, over 90. And over there, there's a drought going on, terrible. And there's wildfires going on, terrible. And then over here at nighttime, at least the temperature goes down a bit. In Italy, it's like, no. It's like you're hot.
It's surprising because Sicily is the biggest island in the Mediterranean. It's got 600 miles of coastline. You would think in the wintertime that the sea breeze would cool things down a little bit, but it doesn't, huh?
The winter?
No, I'm talking about...
First of all, there is no sea breeze.
Oh, there isn't?
That's the whole thing. There's no sea breeze. What we get...
Yeah.
We get...
Is hot.
We get the sands of the Sahara blowing across...
That is something to see.
Right, where everything is covered with yellow, orange Saharan sand.
Yeah.
And it just comes up, and it's like an inferno. It's like an inferno, especially if you're down south, the southern part of Sicily, like where Joe Cartadella's family from, Pacchino, right, or Gela, or any of those towns down there. They're just cooked. They're cooking.
Wow.
And that's when people go to the beaches.
Is it humid?
No.
I've never been to Sicily in the summertime.
No humidity. No humidity. It's like, I guess you could say it'd be like Arizona weather, where it's good for my arthritis, for sure. The other side of the story, in the wintertime, it's bad for my arthritis because no homes have insulation in them.
Oh, Jesus. So
it's just, all it is there is concrete and reinforced steel in the walls, okay? So in the wintertime, when it's 40 degrees there, it feels like it's 20 degrees here. And it's just, so I walk around my house and I have the temperature up, not up, but, what I can afford, which is about 30 degrees. But seriously, I have a sweater on or
an Afghan
on or an Afghan on. Esther has her burqa on.
So Sicily.
Love it.
You're absolutely in love with this island. I've been maybe 4 times in my lifetime.
Yeah.
First time I went was, I believe, in '67. I went to a wedding in Catania.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there.
Why?
It drove me crazy to people. All my wife's cousins, Lucille. First of all, you remember Caps on Essex Street?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Capelson's.
Well, you know it wasn't cheap, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you went in there, you paid Kevin Moriarty, the whole gang. Anyway, I'd go in.
And Reggie.
Yeah.
Kevin,
yeah.
I still, God rest his soul, Kevin Moriarty was my role model in life. I wanted to dress and look just like Kevin Moriarty.
He looked.
And Reggie was like, oh my God, one of the beauties of the world. And she's still a good pal of mine.
Oh, okay.
She's a grandmother and everything else. She's awesome.
Well,
Quattaroni family. They're from the Dr. Quattaroni's.
I know I have this wedding. We got married in '65, so it's 2 years after we've been married. This is going to be one of our big trip that we had taken since we've been married.
Yeah.
So I go down to Caps. I buy a pair of off-white dress pants, nice socks. I bought a blue blazer. I mean, back then, it was expensive. So now I show up. I'm in Catania, and I'm getting dressed for the wedding. And her cousins, who are a pain in the ass, came up to me and they're telling me in Italian, "El dottore, who do you think? You're a doctor? What do you think? Because of the white
You don't
pants."
have to get dressed up at weddings unless it's a
Well,
high-end
in
wedding.
'67, everybody kind of did. And I says to the guy, I says, "Hey, look," I says, "this is what I'm wearing." I says, "You want me to go to the wedding? This is what I'm wearing. You don't want me to go to the wedding? Fine with me." I mean, but they were driving me freaking crazy. We'd take a ride up to Mount Etna. And, of course, the cars are so small, you can't put many people. They're a little Fiat. And they have to wait for Cousin Ernie. They got to wait for Cousin Gamasigama. So now you're sitting there for 45 minutes. I'm getting swollen here. I'm getting swollen. And then finally they have a parade. There's 7 cars.
Going up
Not many people, but 7 cars. And it was just, everything was so complicated. They made life like freaking, I was supposed to stay 2 extra days. I told Lucille, we're out of here. I said, I'm telling you that right now.
That's because you're Napolitan, though, right? You're lucky you weren't kicked out.
I'm half and half. I'm half Italian.
Napolitan, that's the Naples.
I know. I'm half and half.
Dave, one time it was the kingdom of the 2 Sicilies.
Okay.
Where Naples was actually part of Sicily.
Really?
And it irritates the Neapolitans to know that it was called the kingdom of the 2 Sicilies.
Ooh.
Yeah, but let me tell you why I like Sicily. No, let me just rephrase that. Let me tell you why I love Sicily, all right? Imagine your Social Security check that comes in every month. All right, I don't know.
We're going to talk about the economy.
You probably were at the top end of the Social Security ladder, okay?
Who was?
You, every month you probably get the most money, you. Because, you're a high roller.
No, high roll is.
Right? Am I right or wrong, Dave?
High
Right?
roller.
I mean, this guy burns $50 bills.
It's
I'm
like
telling you right
nothing.
now.
It's like
okay.
nothing.
Well, let me finish my sentence first.
I
Okay, then
wanna
you can
tell you my
rebut. Wait,
story.
then you can rebut. So imagine your Social Security, okay? I bank half of my Social Security money
Seriously?
every month. The other half pays all my expenses. Housing, food, electricity, gas, internet, on my Social Security. You hear what I'm saying? That means all the other money I make.
You talking to me?
Any other money I make, baby, it's gravy.
It's gravy
okay?
train, baby.
And you stop and think about it in today's economy, and believe me, to quote my law partner Massimo, I was shocked when I went into Demoulas and I saw the prices there. I was shocked when I paid $22 for what do you call it? A salad there with the Caesar salad with chicken on top of it. $22, right? You got to be kidding me, right? I asked for a glass of water. The lady says, "You want the $1 or $2 size?"
Are you done?
I'm all done.
All right. First of all, I want to go back to something you said about
Go
the
ahead.
Social Security. All right. How would you like to be in your prime earning period?
Yeah,
39.
that's yours.
That was me at 39.
Yeah.
I ended up breaking my back in 2 places. So I go and I have a surgery. They did a fusion. Unfortunately, it didn't take. I go in for the second one. We talked about this earlier. They put 44 pieces of bone in my back. And unfortunately, that didn't take. I ended up losing 2 discs. I've lost 60% of my right leg, so I couldn't work anymore. So at 39 years old, I'm retired.
Were you getting Social Security disability?
I had filed for it, sure.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I
could
switched
live there
over.
on you could live on that.
No. And then once you get to be retirement age, you switch over to regular Social Security.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But when Lucille passed away, she was the breadwinner of the family.
Yeah.
I was just a piece of dust.
You know, if you believe this, this is what you call, in Sicilian, we would say he's what they call a minghitato, okay?
A what?
Minghitato. And
Which
that
means?
it starts with the letter B, right? S, artist, all right? This guy is a guru of all things finance. Stop, Mike. Look at this. Will you look at this guy right now? Just look at this. Does this look like the face of a pauper?
I didn't say I was a pauper.
And that shirt, that's a nice shirt. That's half of your Social
All
Security.
right, let's get back to what we're saying. So now I switched when Lucille passed away, God bless her soul, 4 years ago. I switched and took her Social Security because she made a lot more money than I did.
Right.
So I wasn't anywhere near the high end as you're misleading people.
Please, will you please? After age 65, correct me if I'm wrong, everything that you earn is yours on the outside of Social Security. After 65, you don't have to declare it. You have to declare it, but I mean, that's your own. They don't deduct your Social Security if you make more than 16 grand. Yeah, but if you make more than 16 grand, right? I mean, come on, Mike, will you please? This guy's he's been in 6-figure heaven for I don't know how many years. He's just cruising along on the magic carpet, right? Please. So go ahead.
I just want to go back to what
You and my brother Tommy, right? We're talking about a guy that is the original alligator arm man.
Ned Leone.
Right?
Ned Leone, God bless his soul.
Right. My father used to say about my brother Tommy that your brother Tommy, you know, he takes a ride on the Buffalo on the nickel before he spends it. But now look at him. Look at him now.
I'm very proud of him.
Fighting through silk underwear, right? As they say.
Who says that?
Tommy boy, I hope you're okay.
Who says that?
All right, let's get back to the part.
All right. We're talking about.
Wait a minute. You, me, and Sicily.
What is that?
That's my program in Sicily. You, me, and Sicily on YouTube.
So people that haven't heard about this on the Sicilian Corner.
They're probably hermits, and they're not going to do me any good. Everybody knows about our program. Esther Vida, the lovely and talented Esther Vida, she's like the star of the program. And I'm in charge now of security and logistics. That's about it. But we have a wonderful, over 200 episodes over the last 8 years. We've done a lot. You know, and we're on a lot of platforms right now. But anyways, you, me, and Sicily, tune into it. You're going to really like it.
And how can people, what's your website?
www.youmeandsicily.com.
How many years have you been doing the show?
8 years.
8 years, wow.
Over 200 episodes.
That's great.
200. Wow.
2 million views only on YouTube. Forget the other platforms.
Yeah.
Right? We have over
I've seen them.
Almost 9,000 subscribers on YouTube alone. 27,000 on Facebook. We have a lot of
views.
And Esther's going to put this on Facebook because we have the most views when it airs. She's going to put the link up there so folks maybe they'll enjoy it.
Listen, we're getting ready to take a break, but I do want to say one thing. We have a very, very dear friend of both you and I who just had some surgery, and we want to wish him nothing but the best. To the DeFury family, to Ray, he's recovering nicely. Things are going along fantastic. He'll be home shortly this week. And again, Ray, best wishes from all of us here on the Sicilian Corner.
Ray, I had the same thing you did. I had the same procedure you did a decade ago.
That's right, I remember.
Yep, and
ever since?
everything's fine. I'm even smoking cigars again. Yeah, no.
I was just going to say. What?
You want to know something? My doctor said to me, smoking them things is going to knock 10 years off your life. And I said to him, but it's the last 10 years. Am I right or wrong?
No,
it's the last 10 years, right? I know guys that jog and they're in shape and they're like this and they're 45 years old and they dropped dead of a heart attack while they're working out.
No question. You know something?
Okay.
You never know when the train's pulling up to the station who's going to get on, who's going to get off. You just don't know.
Sicilians say you
milk
live
it for
every
everything
life,
that's worth.
every day as if your last day on earth. Basta with this stuff about tomorrow. And I'm telling you right now, basta on tomorrow. Live for today. That's my advice to folks out there.
Chrissy wants to know what basta means.
Who? Basta means enough.
Oh, okay.
Enough. Basta.
In Australia, they don't talk like that.
I go to my
We cuss
doctor.
a lot more.
I go to my doctor. I go to the banks. My doctor's sitting there with an ashtray, smoking a stogie. I go to the bank. The teller's like this, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I go into an elevator. People are smoking, right? Everybody smokes. Women smoke. Pregnant women smoke. It's bad for you, but it's a cultural thing. Here in the United States, I don't know why, it's completely taboo. But a lot of people, I enjoy smoking. I enjoy smoking my cigars, and that's it. Boston, I'm serious about that.
Basta.
You don't like it?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes some people get offended. I mean, if I'm in a tight area and somebody's got a real stinky cigar, I don't care for it.
I don't ever do that.
Okay, yeah, you're respectful.
I don't ever do that. I have never smoked in a restaurant in Italy a cigar unless it's open air. I'm not going to offend people. But if I'm outside smoking a stogie and someone says that stinks, guess what? I'm offended
Yeah.
because I'm outside.
I hear you.
That's just my own opinion.
Guys, why don't we take a quick break and then we come back. We're going to continue. We're going to talk about the economy. We're going to talk
Pizza.
about
I wanna
pizza.
talk
We're
about
going to talk
pizza.
about pizza too.
All right.
What's best?
I had my evaluation I conducted all week long on pizza. You're going to want to hear it.
You did a lot of research.
It's unbelievable. I'm sick of pizza, but I'm going to give you my results.
Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
All right.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
Looking for that something special? All of us here at the Sicilian Corner suggest trying Ristorante Uno, located at 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. For the most exquisite dining experience in an intimate setting that serves authentic regional Italian cuisine and features old country service. Try Ristorante Uno. Did we mention their award-winning wine cellar? Ristorante Uno, 119 Salem Street in Boston's historic North End. Call 617-573-9406 for reservations. That's 617-573-9406. Tell them the boys from the Sicilian Corner sent you.
Today,
Lawrence General Hospital has affiliations with leading Boston academic medical centers. Top specialists from Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center and Floating Hospital for Children at Tufts Medical Center work with our local doctors to bring world-class care close to home. Today, amazing partnerships are happening at Lawrence General Hospital. To learn more, visit lawrencegeneral.org/today.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine is pleased to announce the opening of their American College of Radiology accredited MRI unit at their location at 16 Pelham Road in Salem, New Hampshire. So now, in addition to receiving the best orthopedic care in the Merrimack Valley, as well as physical and occupational therapy at Optima Sports Therapy and Rehab, you can also have your MRI, all in one convenient location. The doctors and staff of Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine have been dedicated to providing outstanding medical care to the Merrimack Valley in southern New Hampshire since 1984. Located on Route 97, just off Exit 2 from Route 93 North, on the second floor of the Workout Club of Salem. You deserve the best care, and that's exactly what you'll get from the board-certified surgeons at Essex Orthopedics and Optima Sports Medicine. Please call 603-898-2244 to schedule an appointment.
A loyal sponsor for the Sicilian Corner is Hilton Oil Company. Hilton Oil has been located right across from the South Lawrence Common since 1932 at 101 South Union Street. Hilton Oil Company specializes in 24-hour burner service, oil deliveries, including automatic deliveries serving all the Merrimack Valley area, plus portions of southern New Hampshire. If you want your car fixed right the first time, bring it to Hilton's state-of-the-art service station. Remember, Hilton's is also a Mass State Inspection Station. Hilton Oil Company, 101 South Union Street in Lawrence. Call 978-687-9793.
This is Cindy
and Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts,
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
Welcome back, everybody. In the studio with me, none other than Tom's brother, the living legend, Al Zappala. Al, once again, it's a pleasure. Listen, there's a couple of things I do want to talk to you about that are kind of on the serious side.
Okay, serious.
But I do want to talk about the difference between American pizza and pizza from Sicily. I know you've done a lot of research. You got your doctorate in this. So what's the difference?
Well, first of all, I was very surprised. For those of you in this Merrimack Valley area, they have this stuff called beach pizza, made famous by Tripoli Bakery and Piero's Pizza, the square pizza that when you go to the seashore. Christie's as well, excuse me. And everybody knows what it tastes like. It doesn't taste like pizza. I mean, it tastes like pizza, but it tastes like beach pizza. It's like different type of pizza. So
you think the sauce is different or the dough?
Yeah, it's sweeter and it's got all this other stuff. So some guy opened up 2 shops called Beach Pizza, one in Haverhill and one on the other side of Haverhill. And they're selling them now frozen in Demula's Market Basket, $6.99. I couldn't believe it. So I bought some. And I says, okay, let me see how beach pizza is. And I couldn't tell the difference. I could not tell the difference between commercially frozen beach pizza by some unknown person.
You have to remember, Tripoli's has frozen pizza too.
Yeah.
And it's readily available.
I don't know who it is. I would like to find out who's making it.
But the name of the company is Beach Pizza.
Beach Pizza. It's right on Main Street in Haverhill. I'm not kidding you. Now, as far as pizza, generally speaking,
It's a moneymaker.
well, besides being a moneymaker in both countries, the American version is much saltier than the Italian version.
Really?
Saltier, okay? And I'm saying, why the hell is it's the same ingredients? Dough, sauce, cheese, right? Same ingredient. Why? And here's the reason. If you go to a pizzeria, the vast majority of them, when they reach and get that cheese, the mozzarella, to put on the thing, they take it out of a bag and they sprinkle it, or they buy it from a
20-pound
supplier,
bag,
a 20-pound bag, and they sprinkle it. That pizza is replete with salt for preservation reasons, right? Preservative reasons, versus that same 90% in Sicily, which uses fresh mozzarella. Fresh.
Interesting.
Okay? So there is virtually no salt except the natural salt during the fermenting process, but there's no additional salt when you eat it. So that is a huge difference. And on that basis,
It's interesting.
I could say that unless they're using a fresh cheese in your pizza here, Italian pizza blows it away. And I mean, I don't want to sound like, biased about it, but if you like salt, then go to the American pizza. And if you don't like salt, then you want to, when you come to Europe, have the pizza, you'll enjoy it. And by the way, a large margherita pizza, which is basically the
traditional,
is $7 over there. Over here, I saw some pizzas $12.99, $13.99, $14.99. The franchise is $20 for pizza. A pizza, $20. Like if they would kill somebody in Sicily. If
Do you make pizza?
Esther makes the best pizza.
That's why I asked her.
She gets the dough, she rolls it out, she puts the passata. Passata is the tomato sauce in the bottle. She puts the passata, she puts the fresh cheeses, she puts salt and pepper, a little bit of EVOO, bang. And we have it on Friday because I keep Fridays. I don't eat meat on Fridays. So I had for many years.
Salute.
And that's one of the Friday staples. I have a once-a-month pizza, once a month. So it's just, she makes the best.
Wow.
She also makes great spinach pie. So one weekend she'll make pizza, the other weekend she'll make spinach pie, and then during the week she'll make a
her own dough?
scacciata.
Does she make her own dough? Or does she go to the local?
No, we go to a panificio. That's the bread maker.
Say it again. How do you say it?
Panificio. That means bread maker.
That's pretty, isn't it?
Panificio.
What a nice word.
They're the ones that make the bread and they make the pizza. Those are the bakeries. Okay. And the big, over here it's hilarious. You go to Demula's or any of the markets and you buy a loaf of bread, and no matter what, if it's white bread, rye bread, they all have the price tag on them, huh? In Italy, when you go to the panificio, they put it in a bag and they weigh it. So you only pay for the actual weight of the bread that you're buying. Now, sometimes the white bread here, you could buy white bread and in the middle of it there's blowholes that big. You say, what the hell, I'm trying to make a ham sandwich and there's a hole that big, right? And you're paying that same price as if there is no blowhole, right? So that's a huge difference. What?
Yeah, that's interesting. What would you say, say me, for instance, okay? I decide that I want to do what you've done because I look up to you. You're my idol. You folded your tent and you just packed up.
Mike, I lost my shirt in the All Things Sicilian venture.
I
went over there in Italy with $25,000 in my pocket and a barrel. I lost $1 million, okay, with that goddamn thing that we did over here. We all lost money, all my investors. But over the last
But at least you
10
tried.
years,
At least you tried.
Right.
You tried.
Right.
know
Over the
something?
last 10 years, I reinvented myself over there. I wrote 4 books on Sicily that were very popular. I was doing touring.
Some of our listeners are going to want to know, are those books still in publication?
Yeah, you can buy them on Kindle for $1.99. If you just search my name, Alfred Zappala, my books come up $1.99. You could also buy them in hard copies. I've sold thousands of those books. So that really kind of bailed me out. That was my starting money, so to speak. And then I did the touring business. And then, of course, my law business, thank God. So I kind of had, but I was a stranger in a strange land. All I had was 25 grand in my pocket. I was 60 years old. 25 grand, you can piss away 25 grand like nothing if you don't have a job, okay? I'm saying to myself, I used to make $500,000 a year. I got 25 grand. That's like having chump change in your pocket, Mike, right?
It's a hard pill to swallow. Hard pill to swallow. And I felt your pain.
My wife walked out on me.
You took a physically.
Right. I got a heart attack. My wife walked out on me. I had to dump my beautiful condo.
I love that condo up in the hill. That was really nice.
But guess what? I have a better condo now. I have a whole house all pimped out with stuff because...
What is it? Pimped out?
It was all pimped out. And I get up in the morning, I have my stogie and my coffee, and I'm looking right at the Ionian Sea, which is a quarter of a mile away. I'm living healthy, and I don't give a crap about what anybody thinks about me, because I could see the end of the road coming, and I don't care about anything. Okay, I'm living every day like it's my last day. When I go to bed at night, I say to myself, "Did you have a good day, Alfred?" Yes. And here's the big thing. Were you nice 3 times to people? I try to do 3 nice things a day because over the course of my life as a lawyer, I was an a-hole 33 times a day because it's such a competitive and adversarial thing. Now I don't go to court. Every time I want to go to court, I lay down till that urge passes. I don't do that. We do nice things in Italy. We buy houses for people. We buy businesses for people. We advise people. We do good stuff, and they pay us. And that's it.
I just want to take a second to mention one of our sponsors, and
sure.
That's the Butcher Boy. Butcher Boy in North Andover. And, this is grilling time. Everybody's cooking steaks. Everybody's cooking hamburger. And I'll tell you, the selection, whether you want a cowboy steak or a boneless Delmonico or a boneless strip, do yourselves a favor. Right on Route 125 in North Andover, right, Lake of Chicwick. I think it's 133 and 125, right at that intersection. One-stop shopping. Go in. They have excellent selection of wines, beers, and I know you're going to be very, 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 very happy. But anyway, they're a good sponsor. I know you've gone there before and picked up a lot of stuff.
I used to get the lamb chops.
Oh, the kidney lamb chops.
Fly cut those little babies in the middle. But I understand that the price of beef in general is very expensive nowadays. I haven't gone food shopping for steaks here, but
you do yourself a favor.
It's a lot of
and
money.
I don't know exactly how much some of the prices are reflective on what's happening or price gouging. I question a lot of things, and it kind of bugs me a little bit. But I want to get back to Sicily because that's what you.
The Yamin family has always been a stand-up family.
I work for them.
Okay,
I went to work for them in '57.
They have, and the other guy too, your pal from Haverhill.
Haverhill Beef.
Haverhill Beef. Those are the
Peter Carboni is one of the hardest working guys I know.
And also, to be honest with you, Donnie from Borelli's. He gives you a. You know that Donnie told me over 4th of July, they did a ton of sausages.
Oh, I believe
They sold a ton. That's 2,000 pounds of sausages. Imagine that. And I'm happy for him. When I hear that, when Butcher Boys is loaded, that means the economy's coming back a little bit. And
you mentioned Haverhill Beef, and that lower end of Washington Street is really developing.
Yes, it is.
Salapoli is responsible for a lot of it. The parking garage is going to be redone. So there's a lot. We're fortunate. Here we have, in our area, Merrimack Valley area, we have some outstanding Italian restaurants. We got some outstanding small butcher shops where service, they actually teach it. You go in and you ask a question to Tommy Amin at the Butcher Boy or Pam or Peter Carboni, and they'll sit there and explain it to you. Whereas instead of going and picking up a package of meat that's wrapped and you can't find anybody, it's
you
a
have to
different
press
bonus.
the button.
Yeah, press the
and
button.
wait for somebody.
See, I work for Demoulas. That's where I retired from.
Yeah.
So we used to disconnect it. We used to cut the wire. So the bell never rang. And
That's
then we'd
nice,
watch
yeah.
people outside pushing like crazy. No, I'm only teasing. I've been fortunate. I work for two good families. I started with the Amin family. I learned everything, an awful lot. It was an education. And by the way, Kenny Amin just had his 90th birthday.
God bless him.
And Kenny, happy birthday, my friend.
In Sicily, let me compare your markets over here. In Sicily, you've got almost the same type of markets.
Small.
They're small, but they're powerful. They all have a wonderful, they call them tavolo caldo, a hot table takeaway stuff.
Okay.
Where just about all of them sell roasted chicken as a starter. You know what I'm saying? In other words, remember when we were kids, the roasted chicken, how they used to taste? In Sicily,
Remember that guy on Essex Street?
Right, Charlie's.
Charlie.
Right.
Biggest bookie in town.
Well, who cares? But his chickens were good, weren't they? And they're
Catadellas.
$5. They're $5.
I know.
$5 today. A big chicken for $5, and they have the pastas, and they have fish. They have pesce spada, which is swordfish. They have a whole bunch of stuff. So some nights when Esther doesn't want to have to cook, we'll get a roasted chicken, and that's part of our repertoire, so to speak. It's a different way to live, and the fruits taste like fruits used to taste in the United States 40 years ago, where a tomato was a tomato. When you had a peach and you bit into it here, the juices went all over your face. Strawberries were strawberries. Here, you bite into a tomato and it's a piece of cardboard. It tastes like crap. And especially all the fruits that come from Mexico or Chile or some faraway place, they don't taste like the stuff that I grew up with in Lawrence. We used to go to Catalano's Market or Shuffalo's Market, and those guys there took the time to have good stuff from the North End. Anyways, that's where I live now. That's what we eat. And that's one of the reasons I went back, and that's the major reason for Esther. Her health, because she's a quasi, she doesn't eat so much meat. She nibbles at it, but she eats healthy salads every day, and it's a different lifestyle.
She looks terrific. She looks terrific. The cost of living in Sicily. 30-40% less than what it is here.
Yeah, and now that the euro is tanking, the euro now is at par with the U.S. dollars. So that means when you book a tour with me in Sicily, you get more bang for your buck by 15%.
Which is a complete reversal. Which is a complete reversal from back in 2017 to last year, because
put all things the same out of business.
The euro was actually, the dollar devalued by 5%. The euro was stronger. So now you're telling me it's reversed a little bit?
Mike, by the time we went out of business at All Things the Same, and remember we had 3 locations and we were importing stuff, we would send $100,000 over to Europe for a container, and that would translate to about 55,000 euro. It was it was criminal. It was 35-40% disappeared just like that in the conversion. Now it's par. Now it's par.
Listen, I got to take a commercial break.
Sure.
And you're going to stay with me, and we're going to continue our conversation about the economy.
Okay.
All right. Listen, everybody, we're going to take a break, listen to our sponsors, and without the sponsors, we wouldn't be here. We'll be right back.
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and we can never agree. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri Seaside Italian Grill. Me, I love the elegant romantic vibe, Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that'll make it the place you want to visit every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of an even cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Music Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. And best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all of this fun is right at your fingertips. We can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out about all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at NorthshorePavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler,
owners of Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
In addition to spectacular views overlooking our golf course, we have an incredible Italian chef, Benny Curti.
Benny was born and raised in Italy and came to be our executive chef in 2013.
Benny is so passionate about cooking. If you haven't experienced the food at Grazie Italian Restaurant, you're truly in for a treat.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club.
And we are back, as they say in Radio Land. Hey, listen, the biggest problem that I see going on in Sicily is an age group between, say, 18 to 30 is having a hard time finding jobs. I was looking at some of the stats, and unemployment was like 20% for that particular age group. Al, how does the government stop something like that? How do you keep your young people, the people that can bring a lot of years of work into your country?
First of all, don't believe the stats.
Don't believe it.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because at least over 20% of the jobs are in the black in Sicily, which means under the table. So, for example, when you go and get your car repaired, okay?
Yeah.
The guy will say it's €100 to fix the car. Give me 50, and you'll give him 50, and he'll give you a receipt for 100, and he puts the money in his pocket. All right. If you don't want to do it that way, and you want to pay by credit card, you give him the whole 100, and he brings the credit card. And why does he do that? Because the tax rate's 40%. So effectively, you give him 50, he's pocketing it.
The tax rate is 40%?
40%,
on earned income?
Yeah, 40%. But let's not forget a couple things now, okay? I mean, stop and think about this. We have free health care, which is in the top 5 in the world. Italy's health care blows the United States away, okay? It does, okay? I could say this from Esther had a broken leg. I witnessed it in my own 2 eyes. I have a health clinic that looks after me. They blow the health care that I have for my heart away here. The medicine that you buy over there cost me, over here it was $600 a month for all my heart medicine. Over there it's under $40. All right?
Wow.
$40. $800. That's $9,000 a year versus $500 a year, right? That's how you afford to live there, but it's paid for by the taxes, okay? Mm-hmm. And University of Catania is enormous, and it's free universities, Listen to what I'm saying. You don't have to pay $50,000 a year. You don't graduate from college up to your eyeballs in debt like it is in the United States. Now, so these kids that you're talking about, they have jobs. Okay. Now.
So the numbers are misleading.
Yes.
Okay.
What's the story is kids, because the unions are so strong, they have national unions in Italy because it's a socialistic country. The Constitution of Italy is based on the rights of the people. Okay? And it's a funky form of capitalism, funky form of democracy, but the rights to the people. Once you get a signed contract of employment, you can't get fired. There are 1,600 pages in the Italian Civil Code on the rights of workers. Okay? So you try to fire somebody, you can't. So employers, they wised up. They said, we're not going to hire Mike or Alfred because that means we have to hire them for life. So we'll do 3-month temporary jobs. And we're going to give these workers €12 an hour. So you've got two levels of workers. You've got those who have the contract, who are the older people.
Yeah.
And then you have the younger kids, who are working for €12 an hour. You can't save money to buy a house. You can't raise a family on €12 an hour. You can't do that. So what do? They go north. First they'll go north. And then they'll go to other EU countries. For example, they'll go to Germany, which is the most powerful.
Right.
Okay. Or they'll go to Holland or EU. But they all come back. Maybe 70% of those who leave Sicily come back because it's in their blood. It's in their heart, Mike. Okay? They take that money. They stay there 3-4 years. They come home all the time because flights on Ryanair are $90 to come home from Germany to Catania. So
all right.
Don't believe the stats.
All right. We won't believe the stats. Okay. Let's change gears here. Italian men. Especially ones from the Sicily area.
Yeah.
Okay? It seems like, and I mean this in a nice way, folks, I really do, but it seems like Italian men have a little bit of mafia built into them. Now, I mean, as a kid growing up, you know, it seems like you had the strut going. You were proud to say you're an Italian, but there seems to be that, because of the movies maybe, I don't know, that stereotype, you know. Do you see that or not?
First of all, let me straighten you out on this point once and for all. Listen to Alfred, okay?
Okay.
Because every Sicilian man and every Sicilian woman, in my view, has a little mafia in them.
They do, like I just said.
So the reason is, how? Why? Why is that the case? And here's the reason. If you stop and think about it, you're going to say, you know, Alfred's got a point. Sicily has had over 2,000 years of domination by invaders, starting from the Greeks, the Romans, the Muslims, you name it, the Germans, and everybody.
And they've all left something behind.
Well, what they do is, when an invader comes in the country, the enforcement arm of that invader is the police. They stock the police up with their own people, and they are the muscle of that particular occupier, which means that the citizen gets the boot on the neck. And that's how it's been for 2 millennia. So what happens is there is an inherent distrust for authority. Okay? Nowadays, since the mafia wars are over, but that doesn't mean the mafia is over, schools are now trying to eliminate that thought. But it's entrenched in the older people's DNA. Now, is that the case in the America? Well, here's the thing is, American Sicilians, if you were born in America like me, and you go to Sicily, we are outsiders. We're Americanos. No matter, even though I'm an Italian citizen, I'm an American. That's how they believe, okay? Where I can get, and even though I'm 100% the Castagnese, I can only get so far because I'm really not one of them.
Even today?
Even today,
Wow.
yeah. So the mafia has mutated. Today's mafia is completely different than the mafia of Tony Soprano era or the Godfather era. Here it's all MBAs who own chains of hotels, chains of restaurants, trucking companies, construction
They have
companies.
legit stuff.
In the inner city is where you're going to find the drug dealers. You're going to find kids robbing people. But that's not how it is in Sicily. Not everybody has the guns. As a matter of fact, there is no Second Amendment right to bear a gun. If you had to get a gun in Sicily, you have to go through 50,000 hoops, believe me, including taking an annual psychiatric exam, a very rigorous gun test, and you have to pass the test. They have a bazillion rules about guns, and even knives. Okay, you can't have a blade over 3 inches long.
3 inches?
Like remember on
The switch
NCIS, Gibbs always says, never leave your house without a knife?
Yeah.
Right. So I always had one in my back of my pocket, just for a million reasons.
Little jackknife?
A jackknife, right? My jackknife was illegal. So I had to not have that knife.
Wow.
So now I have to depend on old thunder and lightning myself. But I'm 72 years old. So it's not, now it's like tropical storm and partly cloudy, if you know what I mean, Mike. Right?
I get it.
Right? So I bought a cane. No one says anything about a cane. So I went
It's a
over
good
here.
weapon, right?
I went in the United States. I says, do you have canes? Yeah. Here's a stupid question. I said, do you have metal canes? The guy said, yeah, we have one right here. I was like, yeah. So I bought a metal cane that folds up, and you open it up, and it has a hook on it. And then I went on YouTube, and I went on this. They have a bazillion YouTube things on using a cane for defensive purposes, how to do this and do that. So now I'm like, go ahead, man, try it. Now I have my cane. When I go out with Esther, she's perfectly comfortable because she knows she's with the big bopper who can protect her now.
The big bopper.
But
the
before
big
I wasn't
bopper. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
But anyways, that's
big
what the
bopper.
story is with the mafia, with the economy.
You think the movies had a lot to do with it?
The movies, they ought to be those guys.
I think
please.
Esther feels safe because she can probably outrun you.
She can outrun me. She could probably take me.
Yeah.
She's the most.
She'll kick your cane down and she'll take off.
She's just unbelievable, that woman. She's an Amazon. She could do one-handed push-ups. I go down, I need like a ladder to get back up. But that person can
This
do
getting old really
She's
sucks,
watch this
doesn't it?
stuff, and she's going like this, She does. I'm like, you're shitting me. I'm saying, I can't do that anymore. I just can't do that anymore. But hey.
But there is that certain Italian swagger.
They call it, that's in Italian, that's called bella figura. Bella figura, which means good form. That's why even the poorest person, when they go out, they have they wear their
dress.
wealth on their, they don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
No window.
Do you know what that's
That's
about?
a
You ever
mess.
hear that saying, a pot
No,
to piss in?
tell me about it.
Okay, I'll give you, pot to piss in comes from England, okay? Poor people.
Okay.
And to make money, the people who had leather makers, used to go around to all the villages and buy the person's urine to brine the cow's skin.
Seriously?
Seriously. That's what the urine pot. And so imagine being so poor that you don't have a pot to piss in. That's pretty poor, right? And you don't have a window to throw it out of.
Double whammy.
Right? And that's one of the things I learned is all these sayings over there, because in Italy they have different sayings. So now you know. Or the other one.
This kind of information you don't get on CNBC, folks.
You know,
I just want you to know that.
The other one is, you ever hear that saying, well, there's a rule of thumb? You ever hear that one? All right.
Yeah.
You know what
What's that? Tell us about it.
Rule of thumb. My thumb. In England, another English law where you are allowed to take a twitch or a branch and administer corporal punishment to your wife if she misbehaved without being charged with a crime, unless that twitch was thicker than your thumb. So as a rule of thumb, that's what the guideline was. How's that?
Listen, we got about a minute left to go. Quickly, why don't you tell folks how they can get in touch with you, a little bit about your tours, too.
All right. Thank you, Mike. We're just right now, we're going to do a 17-day grand tour in 2023. And
wow.
Yeah, a huge one, all right? And we're going both to the East Coast and the South Coast, Southeast Coast. It's going to be unbelievable, from Taormina all the way down to Mazamene. We're only taking 8 people, because we don't like to do big tours, 8 people.
Make it personal.
And if you're interested in having the time of your life, all right, contact Esther through our website, www.youmeandsicily.com.
All right.
In 2022, we still have 2 openings left for October. We're all sold out in September, and we're having a Christmas tour, too, this year.
All right. Al, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you, folks, for making us part of your Friday.
Peace be with you.
We'll be back next week, and Tom will be back with us. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend.
Ciao.
Audio Jungle.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.